What's up everybody, this is Mastery and Gamer, and we just got the reveal of a brand new upcoming new hero in today's animated storytime comic, Search and Destroy. And we're gonna talk about him because it is the long time coming hero, Emre. Now, if you've been keeping up with the leaks and even just official story teasers over the past, year at this point, you already knew he was coming. The same leaker who revealed a ton of information about Vendetta leading up to her release also revealed that we'd be getting an upcoming Freya comic that introduces Emre, and lo and behold, that is exactly what we got here today. So in this video, I just want to cover the gist of this comic and talk a little bit about this new hero. So let's dive right on in. The comic Search and Destroy picks up exactly where the Freya intro cinematic ended, starting with her meeting with Maximilian and him hiring her to hunt down Emre. He reveals that Emre has apparently joined Talon since his time back at Overwatch, but at some point Talon themselves have lost track of him, hence why Max is now hiring Freya to hunt him down. In order to accomplish this, Freya then goes and meets with many different Talon operatives, all of whom are apparently not only known to Freya, but also easy to find and very, very willing to just talk to whoever about fellow Talon operatives. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, this part of the comic feels very strange that Freya can just go around, meet up with all these random different Talon people, and they'll just literally tell her anything. Very convenient on a storytelling front, but let's not dwell on that too much. During her meetings with the different Talon members, though, Freya also has a number of flashbacks back to when her and Emre were together in Overwatch, showcasing that the two of them did indeed have a very close relationship, even going so far as Freya meeting Emre's parents in Turkey. Again, another romantic plot point here that I'm sure Blizzard will never extrapolate on or officially confirm one way or the other, but in the end, Freya does finally end up tracking Emre down to Saudi Arabia, where she catches him in the act of infiltrating a facility. And this is when we finally get our reveal of the new hero Emre. His design has certainly changed quite a bit from what they've teased previously during his Overwatch days, and now he has a very Hazard-esque design, I guess you could say. Honestly, he feels like a hybrid of Hazard and Cassidy when it comes to his overall physique and color palette. He's even got the red scarf thing around his neck, which is very similar to Cass, and the overall brownish color scheme, not to mention the hairstyle and everything is very familiar feeling, let's just say. But in revealing Emre, we see here that he is apparently under some sort of external influence. As when Freya first discovers him, he immediately tries to kill her, and in the process ends up killing a number of other security personnel and destroying a large part of whatever facility they're in, before ultimately seeming to lose his mind control when he finally recognizes Freya at the very end. And we can see on the very front of his chest here in this final image what appears to be the mysterious Sombra conspiracy eye, a symbol which many people will remember from years ago at this point, as it's played a few roles throughout the Overwatch lore over the past decade, but most notably had its appearance at the center of the Sombra conspiracy web back when Sombra was first added as a hero. So does this mean that Emre is under the control of this mysterious conspiracy organization? Probably. I'm sure only time will tell what that actually ends up getting revealed to be, especially in the context of Emre as a hero, and how he actually plays into and how he actually connects to all that, and how this whole mind control aspect seems to work for him. But let's talk a bit now about his design. Now, we know going into 2026 that we can expect probably 3 new heroes. Anrin is almost certainly confirmed to be a hero we get this year, and she's almost certainly going to be a damage hero, meaning we're likely to also then get a tank and a support. And I'm just gonna say right now, I'd speculated about this previously, but I am very convinced that Emre, as we see him here, is going to be a tank hero. He definitely does not feel like a support, and he has a very beefy design. Again, very similar character design to Hazard, with the whole cybernetics and sort of bulk to his silhouette. So I'm going to go ahead and say we are looking at a new tank hero here. Additionally, in terms of abilities, he appears to have a few different things at his disposal. First of all is what appears to be some sort of holographic pistol. I don't know if this is going to be distinctly a holographic pistol all the time, or if this is something that can like change shape and form depending on what ability he's using. Maybe it's even kind of like an echo duplicate mechanic where he can sort of like copy things from other heroes or other characters or something like that. But either way, it is very interesting to see that the pistol he is holding here very clearly looks like a hologram, and even has a lot of the same visual effects as Echo's duplicate ability, only that it's orange instead of blue. Beyond that, he seems to have some big right arm weapon metal thing, again, very similar to Hazard, that looks to be able to shoot out some sort of massive energy burst that maybe is having some sort of like gravity type effect. It's kind of hard to tell just from the image itself. It almost looks like he's sort of like picking up the soldiers and the weapons and everything, but it's also possible that they're just getting blown from the blast of the weapon. It's a little hard to say, but either way, whatever the thing on his arm ends up being, we can distinctly see that it isn't there in the final panel of this comic, suggesting that it's maybe a retractable component, or perhaps even itself some sort of holographic aspect of his design, similar to the pistol we saw earlier. But at the end of the day, we do have what is pretty clearly going to be the character design for Emre once he is finally added as a new hero. Now, when is Emre going to be added as a new hero? Well, there's a lot of speculation surrounding the 2026 Spotlight Overwatch event. Well, we don't have an exact timeline just yet, other than that, following the typical every other season release cycle of heroes, we would expect him to be joining the roster in season 22, though we are likely to get some sort of big Overwatch showcase leading into season 21, which is actually going to be coming up fairly soon. And given that Blizzard has now already revealed his hero design, I think there's probably going to be a pretty good chance we get a look at his gameplay during said upcoming Spotlight event, or however Blizzard decides to handle that for this year, with him then likely being added in season 22. That would then of course mean that he is indeed the next upcoming hero, if that does end up being the case, which at this point I am pretty thoroughly convinced is the case. We do have all that information about Anrin and the leaked voice lines for her in-game already, which I've already done a whole video talking about, but as I talked about in that video, that didn't necessarily guarantee she would be the very next hero we end up seeing. So my suspicion is that Emre will indeed be the next hero added to Overwatch, with Anrin then probably being the one after him, since the fact we're already seeing what Emre looks like as a hero with his character design and everything is a pretty good indicator that he's going to be coming pretty soon. But that's just my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. So let me know, what are your thoughts on the design of Emre? What do you think is going on with the whole mind control mechanic, and what sort of information about his kit and abilities do you think we can glean from what we see of him here in this comic? Do you think he's going to be the next hero? And if so, which role do you think he's going to end up falling into? As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe. Hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any future Overwatch 2 news streams and other content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.